What is up, guys, and welcome back to another brand new movie review, where today I am reviewing one of my favorite horror franchises. We are starting with the first movie in this franchise, Final Destination. I have not seen this in several years, and I still need to get the other three on Blu-ray, but we are of course going to jump right in with this movie review. The plot takes place in the year 2000, when a French class goes to take a trip to France for their end of the year trip. But while on the plane, Alex has a vision of the plane exploding, killing everyone. He then freaks out and gets himself and 5 others plus one teacher kicked off, saving their lives, but also putting them on death's list. After the Flight 180's disaster, death starts to pick off the survivors one by one until Alex figures out the pattern of the list. But by that time, there are only 4 survivors left: Alex, Claire, Carter, and Billy. When Alex saves Carter from death, he is then skipped and Billy is taken out next. Alex then thinks that he is next, but he gets it wrong. It's Claire who is next, and Alex must dash to save her before death can reclaim her. The character of Alex is an interesting one, as he had the ability in the beginning of the movie to sense death was coming, with the way he mentions about the tag on his suitcase to the subtle clues until it happens. After the Flight 180 disaster, he plays the slowly going insane conspiracy person well, with trying to figure out what Death's plan is and how to stop him. Claire doesn't really get much development in this movie. We don't know how or why she can sense Alex's emotions and find him after their teacher dies, but it is explained in the novelization of the book that she is an empath, which I think is lazy writing, having it to be explained in the book. The rest of the characters are good with limited time that they have, except for Billy. He's just there and doesn't really help with anything plot related, other than dying, which is a big waste of Sean William Scott, since he's such a good actor. Okay, just going to quickly get this out of the way. Yes, the beard has gone mid-filming for a medical reason. I don't like it as much as so. Let's just continue on. So there was an original ending for this movie that was cut due to test audiences not liking it, as well as there was a relationship subplot which unfortunately did get cut due to, again, test audiences not liking it, where Alex and Claire had sex on the beach. She then gets pregnant, and thus the original ending is her giving birth after Alex dies. So the original ending basically has Claire with a baby, surviving and skipping death, as well as, since Carter is still also around, test audiences didn't like the fact that he survived, so the writers and the filmmakers, they went back and shot the ending that we actually got. But they did use the idea of new life causing you to be moved off a death's list in the sequel. So some interesting information about this movie was that this actually was originally supposed to be an episode for the X-Files, hence why there's 2 detectives in it, and they're not really seen again afterwards. Also, the original name for this movie was going to be Flight 180, but was then changed to Final Destination. At the 4-minute mark in Mark's bedroom, when it does the close-up of his alarm clock showing 1 a.m. and then flickering from 180, the flight number, that apparently took several days of shooting to get right. Also, during the news segments that was used for this movie, it is actually real news segments from a flight crash that had happened 3 years earlier during filming. Final Destination was released in March of 2000, with a budget of 23 million USD and made back roughly 112.8 million USD, which then spawned 4 more movies, a bunch of comics, and a bunch of books that are now actually hard to find. I love this movie, and I love the series. I remember being a kid and seeing the railroad scene and the ending, but not knowing that it was this movie. And it wasn't until I watched the 3rd movie that I went back and watched all of them and fell in love with this series. And apparently they are making a new one, which I'm looking forward to whenever that comes out. While watching it, this time. It slightly annoyed me that Clear and Alex just magically end up in a relationship without any build-up or explanation on that. And it wasn't until I watched the extras on the Blu-ray that I learned that those scenes were cut due to test audiences not liking it. But despite my grievances with that, it doesn't take away from my love of this series or this movie. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next Monday for another brand new movie review.
Is this your silver steak? How long has it been? 300-400 years? You don't remember, do you?
Exactly what is it I should be remembering?
You are the great Van Helsing, trained by monks and mullahs from